Today we are going to discuss on Trump's tariffs on India, whether a trade storm or strategic opportunity. Before we get into subject, let me introduce myself. My name is Ms. Martina, an AI associate of Dr. V.V.L.N.Sastry, jurist, international arbitrator, public policy expert, financial economist, and Fulbright scholar. I am narrating the material which has been authored by him. Friends, what if I told you that overnight, the world's largest democracy, India, found $10 billion worth of its exports under siege, not from war or natural disaster, but from a sudden tariff shock by its closest strategic partner, the United States of America. Welcome to the reality of July 30th, 2025, when US President Donald Trump announced a 25% tariff on Indian goods, layered on top of an existing 10% baseline duty. A 35% blow, blunt and unexpected. Let's begin with some perspective. In 2024, India exported goods worth $87.3 billion to the US. Added to that, our $33 billion in IT and professional services. Together, India U.S. trade crossed $120 billion, a cornerstone of modern economic diplomacy. Meanwhile, India imported about $41.5 billion in goods from America. That makes the US not just a trading partner, but India's most valuable global customer. Let us look at the tariff breakdown. What exactly has changed? Now here's what changed. Trump imposed a new 25% tariff on Indian goods, effective August 1, 2025. This is in addition to the 10% baseline tariff introduced earlier this year. Together, this creates a crippling 35% duty on India's non-exempt exports. And while Trump cited reciprocity and fairness, the damage is real and immediate. Let us also take a look at what's hit, what's safe, and sectoral realities. Let me be precise. First, those sectors that are safe from tariffs. Pharmaceuticals, $9 billion worth, mostly exempt. Smartphones and electronics, $12 to $14 billion, protected, thanks to Apple's manufacturing shift to India. Petrochemicals and fuels, $4 to $7 billion, largely untouched. Now about the sectors that are under fire, facing 35% tariff: gems and jewelry, $10 billion textiles, apparel and home linens, $7 billion plus engineering goods and auto components, $6.5 billion chemicals and ceramics, $8 billion agriculture and seafood, nearly $1 billion total exposed exports, $32 to $33 billion, nearly 40% of our goods exports to the US. Now let us see the economic cost, and what will India lose? Let's talk numbers in terms of short-term and long-term. Short-term, 2025 to 26, up to 30% loss in exposed sectors due to price hikes and cancelled orders. That's a $8 to $10 billion direct revenue hit. Add margin erosion for retained contracts, another $2 billion gone. Long-term, 3 to 5 years if tariffs persist, permanent market share loss to competitors like Vietnam, Mexico, UAE. Total loss, up to $30 to $35 billion cumulatively. Let us question, what about US imports into India? Interestingly, these tariffs are one-sided. As of now, no new Indian tariffs have been placed on US imports. But India imports $41.5 billion in goods, and that gives us strategic leverage if we choose to exercise it. What is Trump's impact on India's GDP? The newly imposed 25% tariffs on India's non-exempted exports, covering sectors like textiles, gems and jewelry, ceramics, and auto components, affect approximately $32 to $33 billion of annual trade. In the short term, India could see a revenue loss of $8 to $10 billion, potentially reducing GDP by around 0.25% to 0.35%, given the export sector's multiplier effect. If these tariffs persist, long-term GDP erosion could deepen due to lost global market share, factory slowdowns, and employment cuts in key MSME-dominated clusters. This disruption, though sectoral, holds national implications unless counterbalanced by strategic trade rerouting or domestic support. So what should India do? And what is the strategy forward? So what now? Fold, fight, or flourish? India has 5 clear paths. 1. Negotiate smartly. Use our strength in pharma, defense ties, and IT to push for tariff relief. Trump's own voters need affordable Indian generics. 2. Leverage FTAs. Redirect trade through UAE, UK, Australia, our new free trade partners. Fast-track deals with EU and Canada. 3. Protect vulnerable sectors. Support textile, gems, ceramics with RoDTEP, PLI schemes, and soft loans. Let Surat and Tariff survive. 4. Diversify export markets. Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, India's exports must not be held hostage to one market. 5. Brand India as high-tech, high-trust, not just cheap labor. India must now sell value, ethics, and stability. However, the deeper question that we face, is this a trade war or a wake-up call? Friends, this isn't just a tariff. It's a test. A test of India's economic diplomacy, its industrial resilience, and its strategic will. Do we panic and plead? Or do we pivot and prosper? The world is watching. India must now speak, not just in summits or speeches, but in steel, in code, in cotton, in courage. Let every exporter understand the rules. Let every policymaker act with purpose. Let every citizen know we are not weak. We are waking up. Let this tariff become the trigger for transformation. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and share to stay informed on India's economic battles and global strategy. Your voice matters. Let's rise together, stronger and smarter. Subscribe to Dr. V.V.L.N.Sastry's channel. Thank you.